Welcome back, everyone. This is Thomas Triple T Tai, who lost his voice, coming to you with another new bullish crypto analysis. Before we dig in, feel free to smash the like, ring my bell, hit subscribe, or leave a comment when you feel value is added. And excuse my voice, I'll do my best. Let's dig in and take a look at Bitcoin on the daily chart. Just from the feel of the macro and the geopolitical environment, it feels as though BTC market participants are acclimated with the current situation, and Bitcoin is putting in the second. I was gonna do this candle today, but while I was preparing for all this stuff, this new candle showed up, so might as well do both. On the daily chart, we have the second consecutive bullish daily candle, and that's this guy right here. BTC is currently at roughly, where is it? 39K, and it's been bouncing. In the last daily chart analysis, I mentioned that if Bitcoin keeps riding this higher low support D32 line right here, this line, if it keeps riding that line, that's showing that it's built pretty strong support, and it did do that right in this candle here, and on the second one it went even higher. So it's continued to fall at that, putting in higher lows, and so that's a little bit bearish, and that's good. At the same time, though, it did bounce against this resistance line here, the channel resistance. So our channels, here's the top, here's the bottom, and it's bouncing against that top resistance line at roughly 39.4K. Additionally, when we connect the ascending higher low support line D32 to the channel's resistance line D11, we get an ascending triangle. That's a bullish pattern, and Bitcoin seems to be just riding in this area, heading towards this point. Sooner or later, it'll bounce up above or decide to go below. If it goes below the support, the ascending support, that's bearish. However, if it breaks above and stays above the channel resistance at 39.4K, then that's bullish, and it's gonna take some days for us to figure that out, unless the macro or the geopolitical situation changes. Like for example, Poland giving up all their MiG-29 fighter jets to the U.S. That could definitely change, so that the U.S. can give it to you, donate it to Ukraine. That can make a significant difference in the war. So things like that might change. We also want to take a look at the Bollinger Band. As Bitcoin is trending up, it's heading back toward the middle basis Bollinger Band line here. Right now, though, it's closer to that middle basis line than it is to the bottom. And as it heads towards this middle line, that middle line just dipped below the 50-day moving average also. And so Bitcoin would need to break the basis of the Bollinger first, and then break above the 50-day moving average for that to signal a more bullish sentiment. Let's go below and take a look at the other indicators. The white J line of the KDJ rounded off the bottom here. It had a chance to go down even further, down to roughly around, what is that, negative 11.2. It didn't do that. It rounded off, and then it's starting to swing back up. It went from 4.7 to 5.5, and that's bullish trending, although it's still bearish because it's below the red and the blue lines. On the MACD, the white MACD line here, you may not be able to see it as clearly, but let's magnify it up so you can see it. The white MACD line continues to trend down, but you notice that it's not at such a steep angle, similar to the J line on the KDJ is rounding off, but it's not totally flattened yet. It's still trending down. And it put in its fourth consecutive bearish histogram burst. Let's zoom out here. And numerically, it went from negative 374 to negative 463. So that's still bearish. Down below in these three indicators, we have the red RSI pretty much continue to go sideways. It trended up slightly from 42 to 42.05 to 46.02. Even though that's a slight trend up, I still gave it a crab because that's pretty much what it is. The aqua CVD line did a similar move. It trended slightly up from 1,803,256 to 1,805,384. Even though that's a slight trend up, I still gave it a crab because that movement is pretty much sideways, as you can see here. The white momentum or MOM indicator trended up significantly. It went from negative 1,467 to positive 1,259, and I gave that a bull. Overall, in the last chart from yesterday, I gave it two crabs and a bear. I mentioned that's more likely to crab sideways, but it has bearish tendencies. But right now, I'm going to keep the two crabs, but I gave it a bullish sentiment here. So more than likely, it's going to continue sideways with a slight upward trend, following because it held this support on the higher low support line here pretty well. So I'm going to give it a two crabs and a bull. Let's take a look at the heat map and see some levels. On the heat map, we see several levels that's been here. They've been here for quite some time. This level here, right around 35K, but you also notice that it got thicker upward from 35 now all the way up to 35.5K. It's pretty thick and red, and so that more buy levels are coming in here. There's hardly any sell levels up here, none as far as big ones, but we still see some faded ones here in the little blue areas. Down below at 32, we still have this big wall here, buy wall, 515 is the size, and down below we have the 30K wall, and it increased slightly to 610, and the 29 wall is still there, like lightish, whitish blue is still there. 28 is still very light there. So, and you can see how Bitcoin has been pretty much chopping sideways with a slight upward trend. And we'll zoom in here so you can see the current levels. Yeah, there's still some spoofing happening here, but not major spoofing walls. Here's some major ones here. They appear, sell spoofing walls here. They appear and they disappear after price moves close to them. But you see some lighter spoofing walls in the blues here. They appear and they disappear, but not large ones. So that's different, at least in the short period of time here. Here we see a spoof wall here up above, and we see a spoof wall, a bigger spoof wall below. That's the buy spoof wall and the sell spoof wall on top. Buys below, and they're about equal, but they change. So that's gonna continue to go sideways with a slightly choppiness here. I hope that added value for you. And feel free to smash the like, ring my bell, hit subscribe, and leave a comment below. I'm not sure how long my voice is going to be like this, but I'll do as much content as I can. I'll see you in the next video later today. I'm going to do probably one more before I wrap it up for today. Thanks. See you later. Peace.